we have something that is more on the side of strange than bad, but we're starting round 2. People are going to start getting eliminated fairly soon, and that is both exciting and sad. A lot of excitement, a lot of sad. But generally, the quality of the game starts going down a little bit. Or, the quality might still be high. It's just that the objective reality is that the game is not as good as some of the others. They tend to be a little less enjoyable, but still, we're in the group round. You never really know what you're going to get. Some of the GMs show up and just throw out something very painful. Some of them show up and give out something a little bit more enjoyable. Once we get through the group stages over to the brackets, you can almost guarantee that you're going to start seeing absolute train wrecks of video games. Will today's first game be a train wreck, or is it going to be a train... what's the opposite of a wreck? Train natural course. Is it just going to be a train? Escarina, thank you so much for the sub. Mucho appreciated. Train nominal. Yeah. Just normal train, no wrecks. Everybody, we're gonna choose whether it's good or bad as we go on. Oh my gosh. Train. Hey, look, everybody, it's a train. Everybody, I hope you're ready. We're gonna go ahead and hop on over to game review. Yeah, let's go ahead and do this, okay? Because our first GM for today, for round 2, honestly, first time GMing, okay, this isn't his first time GMing this year, but this year is his first time being a GM. Let's go ahead and bring, this is a crappy introduction. Okay, the man who needs no introduction, crappy or beautiful, I guess maybe not even a man, the raccoon. Tempestrol, the raccoon needing no internet, whatever, just come talk to me, okay? I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. Hi, Tempestrol.
Hi.
Hey, good to have you.
Good to have you as well. Wow, you're, well, I know why you sound so loud in my ears. It's because I messed up my monitoring.
Oh, no. Well, you don't want to do that.
Boop, boop, boop. Let's just turn that down. Great. normal levels again.
Oh, good. Well, I was thinking, we got the raccoon here, who usually digs up trash. And I was talking about how some of the games that we get, are janky or weird. And I didn't know how hard the punches were going to be coming into the beginning of round 2. How much of a punch is this? Is this going to, am I going to feel it? Is it going to leave a bruise? Is it going to break my arm? How strong is this one?
Well, I can pretty confidently say that you're not going to be able to hear after this.
Oh, no. One of those games.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have some real, genuine, lost video game history for you today. Some really from a really important company that was one of the earliest video game developers and publishers in Japan, who really sort of went unknown because the NES exists, basically.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because sort of first and second generation Japanese consoles aren't really preserved at all. This is a really fascinating piece of hardware, and this is probably the worst game on that system, bar maybe one or two.
I just love it. We're bringing in a weird system and possibly the worst game on that system. Okay, so what game is this?
So this game is Wai Wai Monsterland, sometimes abbreviated as Y2 Monsterland, for the Epic Super Cassette Vision. Now, if you've never heard of this console before, I don't blame you. So, Epic It was a company that sort of was like foundational in the Japanese console market, but they were really big in like the ball and paddle and market, stuff that like predates the Atari VCS even. Like they licensed the Magnavox Odyssey's technology, for example.
Okay.
To bring, that's how early they are, and they were, I don't know if they were the first, but one of the first console manufacturers in Japan. But they just sort of got beaten out as soon as Nintendo entered the market. They had some genuine competition to face off with, and that market is so heavily budget oriented. It was really hard for them to make something that was competitive. That's
kind of understandable. I mean, Nintendo completely changed the game, if you want to put it that way. Yeah, seriously, video games wouldn't be what they are today without Nintendo, by far. But for sure, yeah, we're going to see what they could have been.
They also wouldn't be what they were without companies like this. And I think for that reason alone, it is worth preserving these games, even though this game is, by all accounts, just terrible. It's not even that like different from a lot of games from its time, but it's not very good.
You know what? Yeah, I completely agree. Honestly, there are so many games that people, especially here in the US, didn't get to experience. And, for a Japanese-only console, the Super Cartridge, or Super Cassette, I think is what you called it.
Super
honestly,
Vision.
I know like nothing about this. I only discovered today that it's a console that exists.
Yeah, the only reason I know about it is because Pete Dorr, friend of the channel, actually owns one. And like a year and a half ago, he bought one and every game for the system, which cost him a pretty penny, as I recall. And he played some games on it, and I was really intrigued. And I was like, hey, there's no way that this has like exclusively good games.
Are some of them like actually really good though?
There are some interesting ones. There is one game that I'm forgetting the name of now, like Hyperscape or something. Not Hyperscape. That's the name of a first-person shooter that kind of failed. That's a recent game. What's the name of this one? I forget. There's a cool there's some interesting ones. I don't know. Okay, so it's hard for me to judge the quality of any game from even the NES era because I grew up on the PlayStation 2, right? Like my perspective on what is good for 8-bit games even is sort of a little, it can be iffy sometimes. I've gotten better at it, but anything before that, it's almost impossible for me to judge really without with some level of fairness because I'm just so used to newer things.
By the way, I'm going to ask mods if they can put a warning in the title for flashing, because there is some flashing in this game. Not too uncommon with older games. I say that because I'm looking at the title screen of this game as I'm working on capturing, and yeah, there is some decent flashing going on here.
Just a little, yeah. So Bluepine One points out the only other Famicom contemporary they know of is the SG-1000. So the SG-1000 and the Famicom, to the best of my knowledge, launched on the exact same day.
What?
This console, Epic actually produced a console, not this one, but another console that released 4 days later. That was the Cassette Vision Junior, a pared down version of the predecessor to this. So this came out a couple of years after the SG-1000 and Famicom, and it performed worse. This thing is functionally a little better than an Atari VCS. Well, I should say, actually, it's significantly better than an Atari VCS in terms of graphical capability. The audio is not great, but it's... Yeah.
I'm just trying to think. Okay, Atari VCS, what is the VCS?
The 2600.
Oh, okay. You're just using all the fancy names.
The article, and I did link in the Game Master's channel, I linked my write-up on it. The article that I sourced a lot of this information from on the history of Epic, the company, did use the term VCS the whole time, basically.
Nah, those nerds.
I believe VCS was the original name, and then they renamed it when it re-released without the wood grain. I can't remember.
I mean, that sort of makes sense that they would change the name in order to, help people tell the difference between the first and the second one. Although I'm going to go ahead and say that Atari naming conventions are almost as bad as Microsoft. Almost as bad, not quite.
Yeah. Oh, but yeah, because I know I just love trying to distinguish between C# and .NET 5, .NET 4. .NET Core and .NET whatever the other one is. Like, I can't even remember what it's called, like the 3 different versions of .NET that they have as standards floating around right now.
I don't even know what a .NET is.
The sort of common set of runtimes and libraries that power C#, F#, and Visual Basic.
Oh, okay. I guess I've used it.
Yeah, you've definitely used it. You're the front end for your Windows Forms application that you made for the Shuffler.
I know that.
Is a .NET application.
I made that. Wow.
Yeah,
That
was used recently. Did you catch any of Zallard's stream?
What? Zallard used it?
Zallard1 used it yesterday or 2 days ago to play through every single game that he ever speedran in one colossal stream. Well, his power went out, but it was functionally one stream, and wow, he chose the minimum of 5 second swaps, like this default range of swap, and 5 seconds is brutal. It's not long enough to get used to a game. It's just long enough for the game to screw you over.
I love it. I love it so much. I'm so glad that there was like a big streamer who used the 5 second default. Oh, that makes me excited.
And you know the sorts of games he runs too, right? Like, he runs Punch Out, but he also runs like platformers and beat 'em ups, like a weird mix of games. So it was really interesting seeing the kinds of strategies he had.
Okay, cool. Do you know if he used Author Blues' updated version?
I don't know.
Okay, that's fine.
Oh,
I'm just curious.
Punch Out the Slaughterhouse to Star Fox 2. Yeah. Oh man, he got some pretty unfair swaps. It was very entertaining.
Okay, I'm just waiting for False Igabod stream to go live again because it went down. Let me hit a refresh right here. Nope, not up. False Igabod! Come on. Oh my gosh, this game is... At least it scrolls smoothly, right?
It scrolls smoothly enough. This game is interesting. Oh, I should probably re-enable the sound on mine. So, this is by far the worst sounding game I have to offer. Man, what can I say about this?
Oh, no,
Have you ever wished...
He definitely used mine. Okay, so here's the deal, Tempest Troll. I know that you helped quite a bit with the Shuffler as well. I'm going to be experimenting a little bit later on after grading is done to see what else can be done with the Shuffler. You know, Author Blues has his version. I think that I'm going to prefer that to be the main one, but
I agree.
I'm really bad at explaining stuff, and so I'm gonna use mine sort of as an experimental thing for some other features to see what it looks like. So, yeah.
I just made a lot of pull requests. It was a lot of code cleanup, really. That was basically it.
Oh, I see how it is. Your code's gross, Brosentia. Yeah.
For someone who is not particularly experienced with programming, you actually did a very good job. I was pretty impressed.
Thanks.
It functions shockingly well, given that's not a reflection on you, that's a reflection on BizHawk. It just functions shockingly well consider how garbage BizHawk is. So yeah, I said it out loud there. I can't stand it.
The Lua integrate. Okay, yeah, blah blah blah. You don't want to know about that, everybody. Lua and BizHawk is bad.
It's a very fun thread on Twitter about that.
Let's also just say that Lua, like most deities, works in mysterious ways when it comes to BizHawk.
You know, I see that people are getting ready. Give me just 1 second.
Okay.
I will be right back.
Okay, no worries. Everybody, I hope you're ready for this music. I'm gonna turn it up a little bit more just so you can hear the beautiful tunes. So for those of you who already have headaches, welcome to Kuso6rande. I can assure you we are not going to help at all, okay? In fact, we're the kind of solution that a hammer is to a headache. Or like a jackhammer even. Ooh, a jackhammer hammering a hammer. Yeah, that's what Kuso6rande is, okay?
I'm back. I had to refill my
Yeah. Well, I think we're ready. So, biggest question that I have for you, what emotes should people spam? I think we see a little inspiration on the title screen.
Absolutely. Anything that resembles things on the title screen. Monsters, Frankenstein monsters, whether they are grown up or not. That's a deep cut. I know, fish monsters, vampires, Draculas.
Oh, yeah.
And
Okay.
we're off.
As soon as I see movement, I will start our timer. Okay, I think I started it just a tiny bit early. That's fine.
I have given players a specific level order to follow, and they have all done so correctly. So this game is somewhat non-linear. The goal is to get to, and let me just pull up my level list here, is to get to Devil's Castle. The order that the players are going to follow is Frankenstein's house, Wolfman's wood. Yep, both bad. You know what? We'll get to that later.
I'm just watching the Kuchiri and just trying to get the transition up to the next screen is so good.
Mm-hmm. So, have you ever played Scunny and said, "Hey, I wish this game played kind of more like Ghosts and Goblins"?
No, I played Scunny and thought, oh, wow, I wish this company absolutely got driven into the ground and no longer exists. And you know what?
Yep.
I don't know if my dreams came true, but their website's down, so that's a good start.
EL, what is that? I've never seen that power up before.
L.
That's weird.
That means the in Spanish. He got the power up.
What does it do? No, this is post Famicom. Yeah, so this came out after the Famicom, and it was very much the sort of the last vestiges of a dying company. Although Epic still exists today, and they still make games, and in fact, they I believe are one of the few toy makers to have the rights to use Mario officially. So they work very closely with Nintendo these days.
Oh, really?
And they have been since the Famicom. Yeah. Once they decided to drop out of the console market, which was like less than a year after this console release, they went, you know what? Let's port our famous flagship product, the first thing we ever released, a baseball toy that we've re-released a billion times. Let's re-release this as a Famicom game. It was fairly successful. And then they released a whole bunch of other games. They actually had very good support for their games on the Famicom.
Okay. That's...
is this the same Epic that makes Sylvanian Family's Calico Critters figures? I would be very unsurprised if that was the case. Good point. I will start a prediction.
Yes.
Which side will win? Left side, right side. Let's say 5 minutes.
Yes, so go ahead and predict in stream if you would like. Predict in Twitch chat if the winner will be on the left side or the right side.
Sorry, I misread Codeman's statement as a question. It absolutely is. Well, that doesn't surprise me. They are a toy manufacturer first and foremost. That's how they started back in the mid-1960s, and that's what they are now.
Okay. That makes sense. Epic.
Yeah.
This music is not great.
No, well, and it only gets worse. Trust me, if I told them to go the top route, which starts off in Fish Monsters Pond, I believe the level name is, it would be even worse, and they would have been swimming.
Okay.
So
is this the company that made? Let's see. I see a pole position that there are a few different epics out there, and I'm having a hard time finding.
They did do pole position for the Super Cassette Vision, I believe.
Okay, pole position 2.
Wait, why am I Googling this? I have their entire ROM set on my computer.
The Epic Super Cassette Vision, indeed.
Yep. Yeah, and this game is, man. So, one thing with this game is that you can see you sort of have like P-speed in a way, right? You run for a bit and you get faster, but your acceleration is really non-linear and sort of janky. Like, you accelerate very, very quickly.
Okay.
And, the other thing is that, like, your jump height is based on your speed, right? So it's kind of like Mario has the same idea, but Mario's physics are far more sensible. Like your jump height's increasing with your speed.
Yes.
Makes sense in the context of Mario. The two correlate very tightly. In this game, you'll notice that your jump height goes right to the moon very, very quickly.
Yeah, and it looks like as soon as you release jump, maybe I'm imagining things. I'm not sure if when you release jump, it stops the height, or if it's when they run into the horizontal block that...
Fixed height. Fixed height jumps, and you can get caught on horizontal blocks sometimes.
Oh my gosh, the jump is so good.
Yep. So another thing is that... So one thing... Oh, Smebble may have... No, not yet. So Smebble Bear might figure this out eventually, given where they are. This game does have one nice thing that I sort of figured out by accident, which is if you jump and then jump the instant you land, you sort of pogo higher, and you can go incredibly high with that, almost a full screen.
Okay, gotcha. Well, I'm glad that we've seen Frankenstein. He's a good guy.
I think this was released not long after SMB1, and actually was released several years after Super Mario Bros. I believe this system came out in 1986, I think, so 3 years after. I could be mistaken. I'm pretty sure it was 1986.
Oh my gosh, this game has problems.
1984. Sorry. So not that long.
I've been watching Kuchiri. Kuchiri got into a room where enemies came straight for him, but unfortunately the projectiles that he was trying to use just didn't work because they were hitting the block right above the enemy instead of the enemy itself. So, like, blocks, if it's one block high, you may struggle a little bit hitting enemies. Oh my gosh. False Sigabod might have figured out the super high jump.
Codeman is yet again correcting me. I should know. I honestly should know that Super Mario Bros. Came out in 1985 and was not a launch title. Yeah, that's on me actually. I've watched NES works. I should know that.
And there's why we have flashing warning.
Kuchiri. I don't think I've ever gotten that power up. Is that invincibility? That's interesting. Wow, I'm genuinely sorry. I actually had no clue. Wow, that's...
As soon as I saw the title screen and just the black and white flashing, I was like, there needs to be something because, simply put, you never really know with these old games what's going to show up.
Oh boy. So you'll notice that some of these players, I think this requires a bit of explanation. Some of these players are jumping into these like blue and black levels. Those are bonus areas, and they can die in those and not lose a life. But they will lose their weapon. The health system works, like I said, sort of like Ghosts and Goblins, Super Ghouls and Ghosts, whatever. Where if you have your weapon and your health are the same basically, right? So if you get hit once, you lose your weapon. If you get hit again, and then you can't shoot anything, you have to go find a new cross to throw, which is conveniently given to you with an arrow.
Okay.
And then if you, if you get hit again without it, then you die. Some projectiles, like Frankenstein's electricity right there, will kill you no matter what status you're at. And you can actually pick up a second cross, which are sort of hidden DuckTales style around the map.
Okay. So
to get it another one, and that gives you sort of an empowered cross.
So what are they trying to collect? What's their goal here?
I think you're trying to either retrieve a doll or your girlfriend. I can't tell. The sprites are a little crude.
Okay. And how does progress work up until you collect the doll girl?
So you basically just go through the levels. Okay. I don't completely understand this. I think it might have made a bit more sense with the manual. But you go through the levels in whatever order you want. I've given them a set order because it's nonlinear. But you go through the levels, and then you get to what is it called? Devil's Castle. And when you get to the top of the tower, you save your girlfriend or whatever, and then she's whisked away, and you have to beat either one or two more levels after that.
Okay.
To then beat the game. I thought it was sort of weird. The ending of the game is actually just like you beat one or two levels and that's it.
Well,
but they're different ones than you got on the way to the castle, at least.
Okay.
I don't really understand it.
This is painful.
Parting always just had that name. Parting always just had a really unfortunate circumstance where he landed on an enemy and then got trapped in the corner and got hit almost immediately afterwards. There are very few iframes, and in fact, it is possible to have no iframes. If you touch two enemies at the same time, you will basically instantly die. You get iframes only for the enemy who just hit you. It's really weird.
Parting always is trying to get up there.
Mm-hmm.
But unfortunately, jumps are dumb. There we go.
Just wait until we reach a boss. Like, these aren't bosses, by the way, the Frankensteins.
Oh, okay.
There is one at the end of the level that's identical, but he throws minions.
Ah, he throws his friends. That's always good. What are the sparkles?
So those are secrets. If you shoot them with a cross, then they will open up these little windows. And usually that just brings you into a bonus area, which are a massive time waste. Like, you just shouldn't go into them.
Okay.
Oh, who are you noticing?
Sorry, farting always. I just saw that he was trying to walk onto the moving platforms and it kept pushing him back. Because just sprite collision and moving platforms, especially moving so fast in a game that is a little bit rough. Yeah, that's difficult. Was Smebble fighting the boss right there?
Oh, that is the boss. Yeah. Not anymore. That was the boss, and actually.
Yeah, we'll have to see how it goes. Smebelbear is asking in Discord, are the height of jumps supposed to be wildly inconsistent? I think that is a question that we can leave unanswered unless you want to answer.
I'm not going to say yes. I will say there are different heights of jumps.
I love that.
I am not going to say wildly inconsistent because they're not. They are tied to your speed. But I'm not going to say they're tied to your speed because why would I tell players anything about this game? That would be too fun.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah, supposed to be is a loaded question, as Kate points out. So I'm going to say there are different heights of jump, and that is where I will leave that.
Heights of jump. Oh, the Kuchiri almost
almost
platform
into
there.
The wall.
Oh my
I
gosh.
have never gotten permanently stuck in a wall, but you do run into the sort of like SMB1 like wall clip scenario quite frequently. You don't want to be standing on that. Oh, you can just stand on the little firework launchers? Yeah.
I guess so. Yeah, they don't hurt you.
I knew you could stand on them. I didn't think you could stand on them while they were shooting.
I'm guessing
Kuchiri also smartly avoids the bonus level.
I see that statue. Is that like an extra life?
Nope. I thought it was something, but it's just a statue. I think that is a unique sprite too. I've never seen that anywhere else.
Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah. Also, the light gun for this is actually reused from a prior console of theirs, the TV Vader, which Wikipedia says is a Mauser C96. I believe it's actually a Luger. It's actually based on the same. Oh no, it might be a Mauser. Sorry, it might be a Mauser C96. It is based on the same gun that is actually used as the base model for Han Solo's blaster.
Ooh.
Yeah, which is the only reason I recognized it.
Okay. I actually really support companies reusing some of the hardware because, you know, if you buy a light gun or something for 1 or 2 games, it's dumb, okay? Like, why even get it? But if you can have hardware from a previous system be used for the current system, then you have just made it much more appealing for me. Much more. Okay.
Well, they had to because the Japanese market was so cost focused, especially at that time. You couldn't release something for over $100 at the time and expect it to sell super well. So reusing equipment a requirement.
Oh my gosh, there's so many Frankensteins in this Frankenstein's den. Like, the thing is, I'm watching this, and there's some deaths that, like, if you haven't played this or haven't played games that don't control well, they look like they're really accidental deaths that, like, someone new should be able to avoid. But there's no way. Oh, False Igabod cornered after crawling under the blocks.
Yep.
But that was a bonus area. Does it still
The
kill
bonus
you?
area. So you can die or run out of time and die like that, but you can't. The worst that happens is you lose your weapon.
Okay.
So you do lose health, but you can't. Once you die, you just come back with 0 health in wherever you went in.
So there's sometimes an arrow above the player. What does that mean?
That's just showing you where to go.
Okay.
Some I don't know why it only appears in some stages. If there's a cross above their head, it just points the way to the next cross. You just saw right there, Smebble Bear hit 2 enemies at once. Had they actually had a cross on them, they would have died at the exact same rate because they touched 2 enemies at the same time.
Okay.
Or they would have died, I guess, 1 frame later.
Wait, Smebble Bear would have died?
Oh, yeah.
Why?
Previously, not that last death, but the death before, they touched 2 enemies at the same time. So if they'd had a cross, they would have lost the cross on 1 frame, and then the next frame, because they touched a different enemy. If they'd only touched 1 enemy, they would have gotten iframes for that specific enemy. But because they touched 2 enemies, they would have died instantly.
Okay.
It's really dumb.
Yeah, that's a pretty big flaw, I'd say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so groups of enemies are far more dangerous than singular enemies, even if that group is another enemy.
One thing that I want to note, by the way, for everybody watching, is that bonus areas, it really varies by game whether or not you want to go and visit them, depending on if points do anything. If they happen to give extra lives, then that is great, possibly something that they can use. But if they don't, then honestly, just a huge waste of time.
That's probably what EL stood for. I've never seen that power up before, so I didn't know. But
might
that's probably
be
what
extra
that did.
life.
Yeah, probably.
How do you see how many lives you have?
You can see that it's the number of it's at the far top right hand side. T. So like Kuchiri has 3 lives. Denoted by T3. I don't know what T stands
in
for.
the bonus areas,
It's a timer.
it's a timer, but outside of the bonus areas, it's not. Okay.
Smebble is unsure if their controls are working correctly. Your game is running correctly, I said.
Smebble definitely has the controls working the way that I wouldn't say necessarily intended, but the way that it's programmed, yes. Nothing weird about Smebble's controls, other than they're playing this game.
They're playing this game.
That's the biggest problem of this game, is that people have to play it on Twitch.tv,
Well, that's really the biggest problem with art in general, is that it exists and therefore you must consume it.
I've eaten a lot of art in my life.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't let me go to the galleries anymore,
I don't even know how. I wanted to make a joke off of that so bad, and I just drew a blank. Just nothing. Head empty.
That's all good.
No thoughts. No thoughts. Head empty. Oh yeah. So Kapow has just posted a great quote. I forgot about this actually, and I should have put this in my write-up. A version of the system targeted at the young female market, the Super Lady cassette vision, was released. The console came packed in pink carrying case alongside the game Milky Princess.
You cannot call a game Milky Princess. That is
No,
illegal, okay? You go to jail.
Was Milky Princess based at all on Mickey Momo? No, not Mickey Momo. Sorry,
please
Milky Princess was a...
Stop saying Milky Princess, okay?
This was based on a really, really popular anime.
Milky Princess
wasn't it? There's a bunch of like...
No.
Totally, not Mickey Momo. Sorry, not Mickey Momo. Milky Princess was something separate.
I'm literally Googling Milky Princess.
I'm thinking about Mickey Momo because I watched Kenny Lauderdale, and he throws out these names of just forgotten magical girl series like it's nothing. And so I know all the names, and I haven't seen any of them. Creamy Mommy is what I'm thinking of, which is also a name that I hate. But is also supposedly really good.
Gosh. Yeah, Giant Bomb apparently has it on their site and no additional information about it. It's a quiz and action game, though. Action and trivia.
Chargeman can't. Oh,
If
okay.
they have trivia about milk, then I'm done. I'm absolutely done with video games, okay?
Thinking Momo's not obscure. Well, okay. Never mind. Shows what I know. Okay. We are starting always. Wait. No, I got these wrong. Kuchiri. I have these backwards on my layout.
What?
Did Kuchiri die? Kuchiri died, sadly. That's unfortunate. Kuchiri's asking for a position.
Yeah, I honestly have no clue.
Second, I believe, because I think we've only seen Smebble and Kuchiri reach the boss. I haven't seen anyone else reach the boss yet. I could be mistaken about that. I believe Kuchiri is second.
Yeah, it depends on if Kuchiri got to the boss first. Because I did see a Frankenstein fight relatively early on.
I believe that was from Smebble.
I saw one on the bottom left, though. Way early on. So, again, it probably won't matter. I presume that players are going to beat this stage.
I think so. We're seeing some really good progress, and we're only 20 minutes in, so... Yeah. The one thing that's sort of noteworthy is the competitors don't actually have to fight any of the bosses. Like, literally a single one.
Wait, are
so
you
can
serious?
Yeah, just jump past them.
Oh my gosh.
To finish the level, you don't need to defeat the boss. You just need to exit. And defeating the boss certainly makes that trivial, but you don't have to defeat the boss. You can just jump over him.
I would say, honestly, the best thing to do would be to have a weapon. That way, if you take damage, bam, you can just iframe past.
Nope. So iframes only work on the same monster that hit you. So if they hit one of the minions that the boss throws out, then yeah, they get iframes against that specific minion, but not against the boss. And the boss kills you instantly because they deal 3 points of damage.
Wait. You don't get iframes if you touch the boss?
Well, no, because it's not possible because it just kills you instantly.
Okay, I would probably try it once, and then as soon as I insta-died, I'd be like, well, that is dumb.
Yeah, you do start over on the same screen, provided you have enough lives.
I don't think I would try it more than once, though. Gotta be honest here.
It's definitely not worth it to actually try and fight the boss. Your jump height when you're moving slowly is like too low to really reach the boss's height effectively. It's just a frustrating mess to try and actually fight them directly.
I'm actually really grossed out by something in chat because they said QXXIII specifically said that 28 states in the US have an official state beverage. 21 of those have milk as the beverage. That's boring. Fine. How boring do you have to be to choose milk as your state beverage, huh? I mean, probably like all the rectangle states.
Don't you live in Utah, one of the rectangle states?
Well, like, yeah, I don't really want to look up our state beverage because if we have one, it's probably milk.
Baptism water.
Baptism water? Ew, no, don't say that. Why would you say that?
Sorry. I was thinking like
Kuchiri
holy water,
got passed, but got electrocuted.
Yeah, and Farting Always is doing another attempt. They made the right choice. He made the right choice and tried to jump over. Oh man, I'm really excited to see the second one.
I just Googled Utah State Beverage and I saw Jello shot. And I'm pretty sure that's not correct. That is not correct at all.
Oh, unfortunately, Farting Always does not succeed on this boss. People are still trying to fight. Which, granted, I mean, I would have also if I didn't know. I saw in a review, basically, hey, you should just jump over the boss. Which is the only reason I know to do that.
Okay. How much of this game have you played?
I've beaten it.
Oh,
I beat it
I'm
with save
sorry.
state. I beat it.
Hey,
I mean, not played every, and I've played every single level too.
Oh, good. So you are basically the veteran when it comes to this game. You know more about this game than possibly anybody alive.
And yet I didn't know what EL was, or that there was even a cross omulet power up that I saw like 5
Do
minutes ago.
you get a
and never
timer
even-
when you get to the boss?
It looks like it.
Yeah, Kuchiri just timed out because this game is totally fair and well balanced.
Yep. Oh, just wait until we get to the final level, if we ever see it, which is completely different from this, because you have to climb up a wall and you don't get to jump, and that's the whole level. Or the swimming level, which we may see if anybody beats the final level, the quote-unquote final level.
You're asking a lot. If anybody beats any level, I'll be happy. Because this game is, like, having played Kid Cool and other games with slippery physics, like, I know the pain. I know the suffering.
Yeah, this game actually controls quite a bit like Kid Cool, but the acceleration is unreasonably fast. So it's like the opposite problem, but it has the weird jump height stuff, too. I didn't even think about that, but yeah, Kid Cool is comparable, I'd say, in quality and style.
The only good thing about this game that I would say might put it above Kid Cool's controls is that you actually can gain a little momentum while you're in the air.
Yeah, that's true.
And you can't with Kid Cool. So this is, yeah, look at the crap that you're seeing right now. More controllable than Kid Cool. Confirmed.
So speedrun of this when?
Shut up. Okay, I am currently in grading season right now. It's done by the end of May 10th. Or May 11th. May 11th. And then after that, I can go ahead and think about things that make me sad.
I should have given you that instead of something good like Die Hard Trilogy. Whoa, hey, that was cool. Kuchiri just it's not on your stream yet, but Kuchiri just
saw it. I saw it.
Okay, I guess it must be more less delayed than I thought on. That's cool. The that they managed to somehow clip through there.
Clipping through floor. Well, just based on sometimes I see them like walking on a platform, but it looks like they're standing on the air. Like everything just seems more approximate in this game than anything else. It's very.
Yeah. I don't know if it's a ROM error or if it's intended, but sometimes it feels like there's invisible floors and walls. Like Kuchiri has I can't speak today. English. Also, when you jump, your jumping hitbox is really weird and potentially non-existent. I don't really understand how it works, but sometimes if you land on an enemy and jump instantly, you will go through.
I suppose this is a... What is it?
Oh, Kuchiri's close again. No lives, though. Oh, wait. No, maybe lives. There's a timer on screen. Well, better run for it. Don't try and fight the boss. If you have the upgraded cross, which actually False Egobot has, then you shoot crosses constantly, and I think they might do a little more damage. I'm not sure, but that is actually really good for getting through the boss. They're firing so fast. But that's about the only way that I think you can reliably kill the bosses. It's just not worth it otherwise. Ooh, unfortunate. You can see even with multiple cross upgrades, multiple hit points against normal enemies, you just die instantly against Frankensteins.
Yeah, Kuchiri is fighting this Frankenstein though. Timer is ticking, but I think Kuchiri is gonna do okay. Oh my gosh!
Wow. Well, commentator's curse. That's rough. This is their last attempt, I think. Oh, and hit 2 enemies at once. There you go. Died, got hurt, and then died a frame later.
That is beautiful. Also, really, really crappy.
Yep. You'll see completion of this level eventually.
So let's see. Smebble Bear timing out on the bonus stage, which is completely okay. Yeah, getting extra lives may be beneficial if you actually do get lives from collecting points. I'm not completely sure what Smebble Bear is doing, but Smebble Bear has one of the stars up at the top. Do you have any idea what those do?
Hmm.
There's the star
not-
01, and everybody else has 00.
I suspect that may be bonus levels or something, or it may. Well, they have the empowered cross as well, so it may be that they have an extra cross. I noticed that it isn't firing quite as quickly as False Egobod's, and False Egobod definitely had like 2, but maybe not. I'm not totally sure. It may be secret levels or like stars shot or something.
It's possible. Maybe there's a secret ending. And if you collect all the stars, then guess what? Your character instantly dies and it's the good ending. Because holy crap, look at this kid. Okay. First, the hairstyle. I'm going to go ahead and say that this hairstyle is a little outdated, a little floop in the front, Tintin-esque purple hair. I mean, I could go for some Tintin-esque purple hair. Okay, never mind. I have the same hairstyle, desire sometimes. Wearing a beanie, though, with that hair, I don't know, makes you look like you're a slacker. Come on, gotta be productive.
Does it? Hurt. I wear almost exclusively beanies.
And then you wear a lot of beanies?
Yeah, I'm wearing one right now.
I mean, unless you're like in Battlestar Galactica, I guess there are a few people who wear beanies and they're still really hard workers. Okay, if you're in Battlestar Galactica, you can wear a beanie and look productive.
All right.
Yeah, okay.
I don't
then,
have anything to add to that joke.
I'm not sure what this jacket is that the kid's wearing. It looks like a jacket that where the sleeves are a bit too long.
I think it's
for his
overalls
arms.
and like a sweater. Oh, is that a completion? That's a completion on Kuchiri's screen.
Yes, Kuchiri moving definitively into first place.
I didn't see. Did Kuchiri kill the boss or jump over?
I don't know.
Ooh, that's an unfortunate death. Immediately. So okay, let's talk about Wolfman's Wood. So there are these
no,
little
let's not
gremlins.
talk about that.
There are these gremlins that are these like wolf creatures that are running around, and when the sun comes out, specifically when you're on the ground.
Okay.
It looks like Smebelbear has also beaten the level. Exceptional. Awesome. Kuchiri jumped over the walls. Okay, great. So a couple things to note. One, the level exit is not actually the whole side of the screen. It's only sort of this little invisible door at the sort of that is one boss height tall.
Yeah.
So you can't just jump over. You have to land solidly on the ground and then start to move forward. Second is Wolfman's Wood. This level sucks. I hate this level so much. There's all these like gremlins moving around, and when you're in the actual woods area and the sun comes out, you know how werewolves work, right? The gremlins turn into werewolves.
Wait,
and
it's opposite of werewolf? Sun comes out, werewolf pops up.
Who am I to say?
Maybe it works different in Japan, you know?
The furries are coming out of the woodwork. Maybe it is different in Japan. I don't know. JoJo's did vampires differently, so I guess maybe. EL, does that give you an extra life? Let's see. Oh, but there's a timer, so I can't tell. Oh, well.
We might be able to see after. I don't know.
So yeah, Wolfman's Wood is a pretty straightforward level. It's got a lot of open space compared to the other levels, but it also has, I think, the most variety in environment. It has an indoor section, an outdoor section, and a sky section where you jump up into the clouds like Zelda, like Link.
Or Mario.
Or Mario.
Yeah, that was for sure an extra life. We've got T4 lives on Smebelbear's
yeah,
screen.
look at that. Cool. Well, that solves that mystery. It was English.
Also, why are there wolves in Frankenstein now?
Well, it's not Frankenstein. This is Wolfman's Wood as well. Smebelbear also beat the first level.
Actually,
oh, and so has Farting Always. We now have a clear. Okay, so Smebelbear is in first. Then Kuchiri is in second.
No, Kuchiri. Yeah. Smebelbear has made more progress here.
Smebelbear, made more progress in Wolfman's Wood. Kuchiri got to, and then Kuchiri died pretty quickly in Wolfman's Wood, but got there before Farting Always, who is currently in third, but will take second pretty easily if he doesn't die.
Yeah, we'll have to see what Farting Always is able to do here.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's...
Besides fart,
fart.
of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People's usernames, okay? I swear, I love everybody who has a weird username. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and say that you call them gremlins.
I don't know what else to call them. They're like...
They almost
like
look
little...
like wolf opera singers, like... when the bat lady busts out and is just singing, Wah! That's what they look like to me, but
small wolf like Aretha Franklin's.
A small wolf like Aretha Franklin's. Oh my gosh.
Cool.
Okay, I hope that they have as good of a voice as Aretha Franklin, you know? Although, yeah, anyways. I'm not sure if Aretha Franklin would be a good opera singer, but she is great at her own music.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it looks like Farting Always is back to Frankenstein's house.
Looks like it, and naturally I was not paying enough attention to tell whether he passed a Kuchiri.
Now, I want everybody to note how Tempestral was wrong.
What?
Because you said that the bonus areas were a complete waste of time. However, it's very much paying off for Smellbear. Look, we've got 5 lives going into a level that they haven't really been through a lot of before. Honestly, it's something that you have to gauge and have to figure out, is it going to be worth spending time in these areas that appear to be optional? And in this case,
I was definitely
yes.
mistaken. I sort of figured it was a waste because they just put you back in the same place where you went in. There are warp zones, but they're different. You can't access those from special stages to the best of my knowledge, and you will know when you get a warp zone because there is screen flashing.
Oh, perfect.
So one thing that Smellbear has been doing differently from what I did is Smellbear has been shooting a lot, even without the automatic cross, and has been uncovering power-ups that I probably should have been a little more diligent in checking. So,
well, what, you weren't racing this. You weren't trying to make more progress than anybody else.
I was trying to make more progress than me. Oh, and we have two competitors on the same very close actually, only one screen apart. Kuchiri is very, very close to Smellbear now, and if Smellbear dies enough times though, I mean, but they have 5 lives. They've got 5 lives, and that's a lot.
That's a lot, yeah.
Maybe completing even this stage would be feasible. I wasn't expecting that. I expected they'd maybe be 2 levels and that'd be it.
Well, I mean, this would be 2 levels completed.
I didn't figure anybody would get further than that, but it's totally possible now.
Yeah, let's see.
Very exciting.
It's always exciting to see when players do a little bit better than you expect.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Kuchiri has game overed again in Wolfman's Wood, but the fact that we've got a couple players now consistently getting to Wolfman's Wood. Oh, and False Egobot has also made it to that stage, so everyone has made it there at least once.
Oh, that
I believe the order is still
awesome.
Actually, from first to fourth, going counterclockwise, starting at Smellbear, I think is the order.
Yeah. The Kuchiri currently in second.
Yep.
Farting Always in third, and False Egobot in fourth.
Kapow asks, how do you high jump? You go faster, or you basically pogo by realistically mashing the jump buttons as you land. If you had the timing of a god, then maybe you could do it consistently, but I have good timing and I could not get it.
Yeah, it's essentially Mario rules, except if Mario happened to have springs for legs. Because
but only when you run
crap,
fast.
when you get going fast, well, no, you can still have springs for legs when you're going slow. It's just that you don't have the momentum to really bounce high, gotta go fast in order to get that real good spring action going on. Like Smellbear, yeah, you see those jumps?
Mm-hmm.
Full spring action.
Spring Mario.
Maybe it's like you're Inspector Gadget, but you also have motion powered springs, like it just generates electricity based off of your movement, and so you got to get going fast, and then bam, springs activate. Ka-chow.
Shoot. I will say, Smellbear has seems to have figured out sort of how to balance their speed nicely to get the sort of medium height jumps. Like when they're going from medium height jumps into these like little sideways hallways in the secret levels, they're not like hitting the ceiling because they're balancing their speed pretty nicely. So I that gives me a lot of hope for their performance.
I think all the players are learning a lot about how this game goes. It's
absolutely
like everybody is making progress. The thing is, with something like this, I can imagine people getting frustrated and just being like, you know what, I don't know, I can't do this. But
yeah.
Even with how frustrating this is, everybody is figuring out how the mechanics work, how to make progress, how to keep from dying so that you can actually get past Frankenstein. Yeah, it's really cool to see that, everybody is learning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. I don't want to just single out Smellbear. Everybody is doing like really well at this. I think people have learned the physics pretty well. And look at that, Kuchiri making the boss jump on the first try. Once you figure out how it's done, it's actually pretty easy.
Oh, good.
I will be right back if you don't mind.
All right, yeah, go ahead. Well, we are 40 minutes into this match, everybody. Smellbear is still pretty far in the lead, though Kuchiri has a fairly good chance of making a decent push here. Only 2 lives, it's a little bit concerning, but I'm not as concerned as I could be. Kuchiri just needs to get to the giant Miley Cyrus room, with the wrecking ball, and get through there, and I think that'll be a little bit more progress for him. People are saying that Smebble is close to another extra life. Question: how can you tell? Is it like 10,000 points? Is it 20,000 points? What have you noticed so far? For those who are asking, Smellbear is definitely in the lead. They are doing fantastic in this match. Still, you never really know. We have to keep our eyes on this and see who, if anybody, is able to make it to the boss of this level. The thing is, it's kind of confusing to me. Where are you supposed to go? Obviously up here. Probably got to jump on the cloud, but it's just...
I'm back. It's not the cloud. You can just jump off the top of the screen.
Oh. Well, okay. Smellbear tried. Didn't work.
Whoa, what just happened to that sprite? That was kind of funky looking.
It exploded.
I've never seen that before.
It went boom.
Oh yeah, something I want to point out to the people watching at home. Oh, that was an unfortunate death. That didn't feel deserved. Something to point out for the people at home. This is actually running in RetroArch. There is a libretro core for this console. However, it took me quite a bit of searching and like tweaking with other emulators to figure that out. This isn't part of the standard distribution. I had to compile the code for this core myself on my own computer from source.
Wait, so you did the compiling? That's awesome.
It wasn't that hard, but I had to switch around some things to make it compile correctly. And I had to install MingGW, and I had to get a whole bunch of libraries. It was actually kind of a pain. I want to remove them. It's messy, but and I compiled it for Mac OS too, and it works well on that as well, I believe.
So I do want everybody to know that the people who are playing in this group, from what I can see, they scored 10 points during the last match, and because of that, nobody's going to be eliminated. That also means that these players are very well experienced, even though, they are struggling a lot with this game. They've shown that they are very solid players. And so, it's not that they are bad at playing. It's just that this game is bad and kind of uncontrollable.
Oh, this game is absolutely unforgivable.
that too.
Kate has pointed out Snubbles cleared the roof of this map several times. Maybe it is the cloud and I just always hit it and never noticed. That's a little worrying. I mean, given that, like within the context of what I just said, like, having to compile code for this, I'm really hoping that it's not. Oh, they found the pause button.
Stop
Ooh,
pausing.
wait.
Stop it.
Oh, what?
Stop it. Maybe they're
What?
doing it on purpose.
I don't think so.
Uh-oh, something went wrong with the controls. Shooting is now pausing.
Something's wrong with our virtual menu. That's what those little flashes are.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, see those little flashes on their screen?
Yes.
That I think is the virtual menu. It seems to be open on there's a virtual control pad menu that is meant to sort of like replicate. Okay, so they can transition screens at least. It's meant to replicate the numpad that exists on the physical console base.
Oh, Kuchiri is so angry about this game right now, by the way.
That's interesting. Oh no.
Kuchiri,
They could, if they're not careful, they could actually hit the power off switch on the base of the console with that. That's a problem.
Yeah, if needed, in order to fix issues like this, you can go ahead and let them know they can take time to make sure that this isn't happening anymore. To be safe, they could technically, if it's not too difficult to instruct.
It's still, oh man, why is it still popping up on their screen? That's genuinely concerning to me. That's not happening on anyone else's screen either, and I didn't notice it when they were testing, even though they were testing first. That's a problem. I thought it was just like a graphical glitch.
Huh.
That's worrying to me.
Oh, so close! I think. I honestly don't know. Smellebear almost made it.
Yeah, we've told them about this, by the way. Like we're talking with them.
Yeah, so this is something that sometimes happens, especially for lesser known systems, lesser known emulators, and emulators that people have to sort of put together themselves. It's not the first time we've had that, thank you, Jeff. But it probably isn't going to be the last. And if there are technical difficulties, then we factor that into decisions if places should change as a result of that. With that said, even with these difficulties, Smellebear is in the lead.
Yeah. That's frustrating.
Yeah, I'm saying Smellebear can go ahead and restart RetroArch because that might actually just help.
Yeah.
Yeah, and because Smellebear just had the game over, it's not really losing the place in the game. We can grant a little extra time just to help. We're going to have a little bit of silence if that is the case, but big deal. Nope, looks like Smellebear might have fixed it.
It looks like it's fixed. So one of the problems with this emulator and the default bindings in RetroArch is that so in a Nintendo layout, B and A are controller buttons. I think somebody posted a picture of the actual system in chat earlier. It's basically like an Atari joystick paddle with sort of buttons on either side. So the A and B are the left and right buttons, and then there's a joystick, or in this case, it's a D-pad on the virtual controller, and that's it. And then there's the buttons on the system itself. So all the other default bindings in RetroArch either press one of or some combination of the other buttons. So that might be part of what caused that issue is like same frame button presses.
Yeah, it's possible. Yeah. Gross,
I will
having a
need to,
numpad on the console itself, that is hideous. I hate it.
Yeah,
but it's kind of practical.
Not the only system to do that.
I still hate it.
That doesn't excuse it. Yeah, it's pretty bad. And you know, it's the SG-1000 and Mark II and Mark III systems from Sega, of course, also had a pause button on the actual system itself, or the run button, or whatever it was called on that.
Ah, yeah.
SCV controller similar to the 7800. Okay, that's not a system that I'm super familiar with, but that would make sense. One of their previous offerings was actually just functionally the Atari 2600. The cassette vision was similar. They had another one that was also quite similar to the 2600, released before that.
Mm-hmm. Honestly, this game is a little more sophisticated than what you find on the 2600. It's still, I don't know, considering that this game came out after the NES was released, I'd say this still would have felt very outdated to anybody playing it.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, even their previous system, just the regular cassette vision, they released a sort of smaller version called the Cassette Vision Junior, which launched 4 days after the SG-1000 and Famicom, and it was outdated even by that time. Like I said, it was basically just an Atari VCS, and at that point, it was considered pretty archaic. And that was the system before this one, releasing 4 days after the Famicom and SG-1000. So, like, when you consider that this thing performs worse than the SG-1000, which itself dwindles in comparison to the NES or Famicom, it really puts into perspective just what they were up against.
The thing is, like, with systems like that, I always feel bad for the people who buy into them. It's like buying an Ouya. It's like, you have hope that it's going to be amazing, you know? You're like, I really want to support you, and then it's not, and all that money's just down the drain, unfortunately. Yeah, and there's nothing really that you can do.
Yeah.
And this looks like it was the Ouya of the 80s.
I suppose that's not a terrible comparison, but the Ouya actually had decent games on it. And this had some interesting licensed titles. It has one racing game that actually I think conveys speed way better than even F-Zero on the Super Famicom, if you can believe it. But it also doesn't look anything as good or sound as good. It looks like a sort of pared down version of Road Rash. Not Road Rash. What was the Super Hang-On?
Wait, Super Hang-On? Like, I know Road Rash. I love Road Rash.
Yeah, but Road Rash is way newer. I was thinking of Super Hang-On. Road Rash is, I guess, but it looks nicer. Because it was 30, wasn't it? Or was Road Rash an arcade game?
I really don't recall. I know I played it on PC, on DOS originally.
Oh, never mind. Road Rash was on the Genesis. Okay. Yeah, same concept. But yeah, this thing...
This music
$200 for this thing. The games are expensive. Games are quite expensive.
This music's starting to get to me. Just a little bit. Like, not too bad, but it's starting to get there. Okay, my favorite enemy by far is the green ball of fire, because it's, like, it's so much larger than everything else. Like, Frankenstein can't even compare to green ball of fire.
Yep, and it's really cute. I like it. It's a good design.
Yeah, I want to be its friend.
Unfortunately, it doesn't want to be your friend.
How? Look, if I were in Frankenstein's house and that ball of fire met me, we would probably go on a date, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Like, not even kidding. I could seduce that ball of fire.
I don't doubt it.
Maybe you should. Maybe you should doubt. Yeah, that's
Isn't it
this
great?
music, okay? Hey, guess what? I can do music too.
It looked like Snubblebear may have given up. It crawled under a rock.
It's a good place to live, you know? Kuchiri is absolutely angry about this game.
Oh yeah.
Hates
Well,
it.
okay.
He's still done very well, but yeah, I
Yeah.
don't think anybody likes this game.
Oh no, absolutely. Look, I had a bunch of options. I was actually a little worried starting out because I was like, I'm sort of a newcomer. I don't have a lot of like options compared to folks who have been hunting out terrible games for years or whatever, right? But I actually have a surprising number of options for round 2 and later. I'm now that I'm allowed to give out slightly more mean games. I've just decided to ratchet up meanness all the way to 10. I really wanted to. I don't know. I had this game on the backlog. I've been wanting to give it out for like. I've had this game in mind since before I was accepted as GM, and I was like, I need to tell people about this.
You know, I can definitely approve of that. A lot of games out there. No. What am I thinking? GMs. Yeah. A lot of us have games that we just really want to show off, and you know, sometimes you just have to. You know, it's like me with games. I've given some really cruel games out to people who have not done particularly well in the past, and they're like, "Wow, I thought you were gonna give me a softball," and I'm like, "No."
Nope.
I just wanted to laugh today.
Ooh.
Yeah, let's just say that
Kushiri does really, really, really well. He may very well make it into first place.
But
it's totally possible.
is that
One life,
Kuchiri's
no
last
health.
life?
It is, I believe, Kuchiri's last life, and no health.
Oh my
Gotta
gosh.
be really, really careful. But if he can,
No!
it might. Oh no! I think it may very well have been that screen.
I think that was the screen before where Smebelbear got, yes.
That could have been really close. Or well, it was really close. That could have been a really, really clutch way to take first place. But second place is very much got to the screen after the one game to overrun. So that confirms for sure that this is that's the placing. Is Smebelbear currently has first, Kuchiri has second. I believe Farting Always has third as a result, and I don't believe Falsy Gobot or Farting Always have gotten to nearly the same point.
Oh yeah.
That was a screen
I
Smebel
don't
walled
think
on
so.
for a bit. But Smebel also got there first. I see. Yeah, did get further. And actually did end up transitioning out of that screen into the next one. Yeah, good point.
Ooh.
Yeah, and then I think Farting Always and Falsy Gobot both made it to Wolfman's Wood, but didn't get super far in. And then Farting Always made it there slightly earlier.
There we go. Falsigabod getting up above. The thing is, these levels are not very long. Farting Always and Falsigabod, as long as they don't take extra deaths, could potentially get to the second stage and make a little bit of progress. Like, yeah, it's good to not give up. Smebelbear, though.
Yeah, it's pretty Look, I thought to myself last night, do I want the first match of the weekend to be the Bang fan match? Yup, I sure do.
I mean, you never really know. It could just be the beginning of a day of pain. You know, I didn't look at the calendar. It's the 1st of May. Is that pain day?
I guess it is now.
I guess so. Yeah, well, we'll have to see if the
wow.
next GM continues that. Oh, you're seeing
Classic.
it now, huh?
This happens literally every single match that I've been in, I think, so far, without exception. GG to whoever got in first, because I definitely came in last, says Smebble
No.
Oh man.
Nope.
Oh, that's amazing.
Here's the deal. Even if I'm complaining about this music, it's not too bad. It's not great, but we have heard much worse on this channel, okay?
We have, for sure.
It's just that, like, the instrument itself doesn't cause scarring, so because of that, it's definitely better than a lot of games that we've had here. It's just, they could have made a melody instead of this. We could have all four streams on at once. That is a good point. I'm not going to do that.
To be honest, there is, I mean, the music on this is bad on multiple facets, right? Like, it's bad in the context of the time it came out, and it's unpleasant to listen to. And fortunately, we don't need to listen to it for much longer because it is Tim.
Oh, thank goodness. Woo!
Nice.
Everybody take a deep breath. Throw your hands up in the air and celebrate the end of Oh my gosh, Smebble is shocked that they took the victory. Smebble definitely did. The Kuchiri second, Farting Always third, and Faltzigabod fourth. Let me go ahead and message Smebble to see if they would like to come and chat. Yeah, so honestly, I think that beating the first stage for everybody is a pretty dang good accomplishment. Like, because this game just controls so poorly. The physics do not make any sense. It's rough. It's very, very difficult. The Kuchiri is a little bit upset, saying, wait, we could get lives? And yes, there are bonus rooms, enough points to give you lives. Hello there, Smebble.
Hello.
Hello.
Congrats on your victory today.
I was confident I was in last place.
It's happened every one of the games I've given out so far this year. The person in first place has gone, I'm confident I'm last. It's hilarious.
Honestly, I can understand with this game because it just fights so hard against you. Like, so hard.
How does jumping work? Just tell me how jumping works.
So jumping works in two ways. You can pogo jump by pressing, but like realistically mashing the jump button as you land. And so with each bounce, you'll go higher. You can also, it's also tied to your speed, but it's not linear. The relationship between your jump height and your speed is very wonky and sort of hard to predict. So when you asked earlier, close to the start of the race, what was it? Are the heights of jumps supposed to be wildly inconsistent? Which I couldn't answer that question outright, saying, well, because they're not inconsistent. They are tied to your speed, but they do feel inconsistent, which is why I answered the way I did. It is intended to have different heights of jump.
Yeah, that doesn't mean it's good.
Yeah. So
what
was
was
I supposed to
Go ahead.
have like the auto fire supercross to be able to beat the boss?
You don't have to beat the boss. You can actually, to beat the level, at every level, by the way, you can actually just jump over the boss. The exit to the level, though, isn't the full side of the screen. It's only a sort of boss height sized door that's invisible, of course. Why wouldn't it be? Just behind the boss. So you have to land on the ground behind them and then walk out. But you can, and that's how I beat it. But I only knew about that because a review that I saw said to do it. So I don't blame you for trying to kill the boss every time.
I was so focused on trying to keep that power up, which I don't understand. When it rolls over from 30 to 40, you get powered. I don't understand what the numbers mean.
You collect multiple crosses, I believe, and then it sort of works like Ghost and Goblins, where if you have the cross, then you can take one hit, except from some enemies, which ain't that fun.
Yeah, the boss apparently deals 3 hits in one,
If you look at the top of the screen, you start off at like 30:00, like 30 o'clock.
Yeah.
And as you collect gems, it eventually goes up to 40. And when I'm 40, then I get the Supercross. I
Really?
don't understand that. Yes.
I'll be honest with you, I sort of figured that the bonus levels were a waste of time, and I didn't really go into them because I noticed that I came back out of the bonus level in the same place, and I thought, well, that's slow then. So I didn't go in there, and as a result, I didn't realize that those gems gave you power-ups or that you could get extra lives so easily. Getting extra lives was definitely a significant factor in what got you first place.
I just love that extra life was EL. Like, L.
I also got a DO. I don't know what that is.
Do.
No wolf.
Yeah.
Could be
Okay.
no wolf. Yeah, you became a wolf. We also
Mr.
saw
Doom?
somebody collect something that made the entire screen flash various colors.
Shuri got that. Yeah, I'd never seen that one. Oops.
Oh boy.
Yeah, that was new. So, yeah, Kuchiri, that was amazing. And I'm so glad that we had a flashing warning before that, because I knew the title screen had some. I didn't know that we had it right there. Ugh.
Kapow, the sound was absolutely emulated correctly. Trust me. It sounds that bad.
Yeah, it wasn't great. So, Smebble Bear, was there anything redeemable about this game?
I like the little wolf guys.
Yeah,
in
they were
level
kind
2.
of cute. Yeah.
Yeah.
The little wolf gremlins.
Some people were saying that some of them looked like Greg. The little gremlin-like ones I thought looked like opera singers. We had a lot of various theories, okay?
Okay. I have to go back and listen to this because I'm really curious about this console I've never heard of until today.
Yeah, it's kind of fascinating.
I did a big lore dump about this, and actually I can put in the Discord some of the sources that I looked for about the history of this system.
Please do.
It's really fascinating, and I found even an interview with one of the developers that was done in the 90s. After he had, I think, sort of moved on to an advisory position. So got a really good perspective on a bunch of different aspects of Epic, the company who made the console.
Well, I think that's about all the time that we have. Smebble Bear, thank you so much. Anything you're streaming over at your channel, or if not, any games that you're playing these days that you're really enjoying?
No.
Dang it, just games you hate.
I'm watching people play inscrutable games and laughing at them. And then, of course, when I come here, that's exactly what I get, so.
Welcome to life. Well, thank you so much, Smebble Bear. Take
Thanks for
care.
having me.
Tempestrel, thank you as well. See you both later.
Thank you.
Have
Bye.
a good afternoon.
Yeah. Oh, everybody, this is Kuso6rande, the Bad Video Game Tournament. I want to give a shout out to Professor Ness and Joey Gatorman, who subscribed Stream Hatman for the little raid that you had earlier. Honestly, all of this helps keep the channel going. So mucho. Thank you. Up next, we've got another game. I'm going to run a quick ad and I will be right back. And thank you, Kuchiri, for subbing. And Sarah.